Hello, you guys. This is John Burke coming back to you with another awesome movie review. First of all, before we continue, I'm sorry with the way I sound. I sound really congested because I'm getting over some nasal allergies, have really bad sinus allergies. Well, I'm just getting over that, so just bear with me with how I sound. Having sinus allergies, though, that did not stop me from going to see The Flash, which just recently came out. And when I went in to see this movie, I actually kind of had low expectations because, DC's good at doing that and pissing on the heroes we love in DC. But actually, when I came out, I was actually pretty surprised. Basically, what happens in The Flash is it takes place a little after Justice League, and well, Barry Allen realizes that he has the ability to run back in time, and he realizes that he could also use that ability to save his mom and dad, who actually went to jail for murdering her. So he runs back in time to try and fix that, and only realizes that he messes up the space-time continuum even more, and now he has to fix that. That's about as in-depth into the plot as I'm going to get, since this is going to be a spoiler-free review. So, hope you enjoyed this review, and let's find out if this movie is worth it. Let me just say, when I got for this year of DC, after Shazam Fury of the Gods, I was like, DC is just screwed. They're not going to fix anything. I mean, Zack Snyder has always ruined it. But then they were going to bring back in James Gunn, the guy who has been writing all these great movies for Marvel, and said he's going to fix everything. So I was like, yay, James Gunn's going to fix the DC universe, and now it's going to be the James Gunn universe, I guess, the way he depicts it. But even though James Gunn wasn't involved in this movie, The Flash actually did pretty well. The first thing I like to get into about this is the good, and the first good thing I'm going to get into is, well, of course, it's actually kind of shocking to me, was Ezra Miller, the guy who's been playing Barry Allen ever since the DC universe actually, got created. I mean, Ezra Miller has really had his ups and downs, and a lot of people have been kind of like looking down on him because of his antics he's been doing in the past and made his popularity like kind of plummet. But I mean, when he got into this movie, he was like, forget all that and let's get to work. I really like the way they did that post Barry Allen scene along with his pre-self before he has his powers. It's like the dialogue is really funny, and we get that arc of development that we didn't get in like other movies. Well, technically, I guess you can just say Justice League because that's the only movie we've actually seen Barry Allen. But I mean, Justice League was just like a slap in the face. Here, your heroes, go save the world from Steppenwolf, and now we're actually getting a before that of how Barry Allen actually got his powers. Now, on pre-Barry Allen, actually, he is really quite an asshole in this movie. I mean, to post Barry Allen, like the one who ran back in time. But I mean, I guess that's kind of expected since, the timeline changed, so he grew up and everything with both his parents, whereas the other Barry Allen didn't. So, I mean, it kind of like things changed and he changed. But I mean, I was guessing that was kind of the point, and it was actually pretty funny in the movie to know the fact that Barry Allen is actually just now realizing how irritating he is to the other members of the Justice League when talking to himself. I mean, that was quite humorous. Though I think that was kind of understandable and relatable at the same time of talking to a younger version of himself. Because I mean, if I was talking to a younger version of myself, I think I get pretty annoyed too. Because I remember the younger version of myself. So I think that was like a relatable thing to the whole audience. Barry Allen also had some great moments with his mom. I mean, that was really some of the emotional heartstrings in the movie. When you see him with his mom, and man, it really pulls on you and gets you there. So I mean, that was also a good part of what Ezra Miller brought to this movie. Overall, Ezra Miller did a great job playing Barry Allen again, and I'm really glad he got his act together because I'm really hoping for more when he actually does come back to the Justice League, if they decide to keep him on as the Justice League. Now let me get to the reason as to why I actually wanted to go see this movie, because it wasn't even for Ezra Miller or Barry Allen, it was for Michael Keaton's Batman. I mean, who doesn't remember Michael Keaton's Batman? I mean, first with him playing Batman and Tim Burton's direction and Danny Elfman's score, and then in one movie him fighting Jack Nicholson, and the other one him having Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer in it. I mean, those movies were classics back in the late 80s and early 90s. But the whole grasp behind this movie was that you see the trailer, you see Michael Keaton's Batman in it, so it's like, Michael Keaton's Batman's in it, so come see this movie. I mean, it worked. It got my attention to come see the movie after all the bad things DC has done, but after watching it, I was like, wow, Michael Keaton's just there to kind of show off. I mean, they even give him some of his cameo lines from his own old movies. I mean, he's saying lines you've already heard before in the older movies. I'm Batman. Well, of course you're Batman. I mean, why do you think we're here? Duh. We knew that you were Batman from the start. That's why we came here, for your help. You didn't have to tell us you were Batman. And then also Barry Allen also playing off that he's Batman? I was like, is post Barry Allen the only one with common sense here? Yes, he is Batman. Aside from Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton, of course, playing their title characters, I thought Sasha Coel played a really great Supergirl. She was very unique, and it's probably not the Supergirl that everybody's used to seeing, but I think that was the whole point, to make her unique. And I mean, it really worked. She did a very good job of playing Supergirl, and when she fought Zod, it was like really awesome. And that pretty much covers all the good that I have for this movie, but now let's focus on the bad. And there's really not as much bad as you think. It's only really the bad that I'm seeing was all mainly in the last act and the CGI that I saw here and there in the movie. Now the CGI overall, I mean, if it was a scale on a 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8 at the most, because a lot of it was really well done. I mean, the way they used the Speed Force in that movie, I mean, it was really good, especially when he was traveling back in time. That CGI was really well, but there were parts in it where, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. It's just like they made their faces look like rubber. I don't know if it's just how their thing, or if it was just iffy, or they didn't have enough time to fix that. But, I mean, their faces looked really fake at moments, and it was just, there were touchy moments that could have been better. So, like, maybe they just ran out of time and couldn't fix that. But, I mean, overall, the CGI still was good. It's just those moments, you'll see them when you see the movie, that had its bad moment. Finally, let's get into the climactic battle. I mean, the third act basically was the climactic battle, but I mean, like always with the climactic battle, they made it so big and flashy and overloaded with CGI. So I mean, it seems like they do that with a lot of big climactic battles nowadays, and when they do that, it also becomes like a big mess. And that's exactly what this climactic battle was. It became messy. It's like they tried to make it so flashy and so amazing and spectacular. It becomes like so messy when they get close to the end of it. I mean, the end of this battle was really like the bad, where it got bad. I mean, the main problem that I had with the climactic battle was the villain. I mean, the villain is only seen, I believe, let me see, twice. No, wait, 3 times, actually. 3 times in this movie. And that's it. I mean, the first time you see the villain, it's when he's running back in time from fixing whatever happened, and he pushes him out of the Speed Force. The second time, it's just in like a dream or a spec, like while he's asleep. And then the third time, you get him in the final act, and seeing him in the final act at that moment was actually very disappointing. I mean, in the third act, you finally find out who the bad guy is, why he's doing this, and then all of a sudden, he's just gone. I mean, there was no origin, there was no battle, there was no nothing. It was just like really bland and flat, like, here's the villain, he's going to stop you, and then you just got to stop him, boom, he's gone. I mean, I just feel like they really could have done more with him. Overall, though, this movie still was really good, and I really highly recommend anybody go see it. Overall, on a grade scale, I give it an A-. Okay, well, that just about wraps up this video. If you guys have any comments about The Flash, if you have seen it, please comment down below. And if you've also liked my other videos, please like and subscribe. This is John Berg, your average movie lover, signing off.